morning, people. I was going to say Vietnam, but we're not in Vietnam. So, cheers. My Dunkin' mug there. So, I am reading a bunch of books to get caught up and do some stuff. Was a little under the weather beginning of the week. Much better now. Surprised I am up this early. Had a podcast last night with a gentleman that had successfully launched 3 Kickstarter books in one campaign, all one-shots, opening up a university he's doing, and he's doing a lot of big things. I mean, I couldn't believe it when he told me about it, but we talked his books and geeking out and everything, and the podcast lasted 5.5 hours. We started at 8 p.m. It was almost 1 o'clock in the morning when we ended. But we're here right now to talk about the Recount. And like I said in the write-up, this is a work of fiction, people. It is not remnant of our current political and social climate. It's just a comic. It's a mature comic. Lots of violence. Lots of violence. Quite a few F-bombs. So, this isn't one for the kids. I love this book. I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. So, I mean, it is. So, for those of you not in the know, this is what happens with Scout Comics. Everybody racing out to buy the number ones, figuring they're going to cash in on the first appearance, except the number ones are not the first appearance of the character. You have to buy the ash cans, and the ash cans are super limited. And the ash cans end up going anywhere from like $30 to $100, depending on the popularity of the book, after they're sold out on eBay, of course. Best thing you can do if you're a Scout fan, like our friend Brian Wayne does over at the Cheers for Comics podcast, is you can subscribe to Scout's monthly mystery box. About $42 and change. That's including the shipping. You get a dozen books, exclusive covers, variant covers, some ash cans, all kinds of great stuff. It is more than worth the money. That's the best way you can do it, or, subscribe at your local comic shop is even my preferred method. And let's just get into it. So the cover is killer. I know yesterday, the writer, Johnathan Hendrick, and Bryan SilverbaX, who did one of the variant covers, they were at the Collective in Central Florida yesterday from noon to 8, slinging books. They were signing books, all kinds of various books. Johnathan had other work there, but they had a huge stack of the Recount. They had a nice fat stack of the Bryan SilverbaX cover, which was a limited variant. But this book was written, of course, by Johnathan Hendrick. The artist was Gabriel Ibarra Nunez, who did a wonderful job. It is sick. Colorist as well. That's part of the full art team. Art and color. And the colorist was Sunel. I'm going to butcher this name. Gargre. I hope that's close. This book was just, next to perfect. The art fit the story like you wouldn't believe. Lettered was Christian Dolkamansky. Scout production, of course, Joel Rodriguez. And the editor on this was Andrea Lorenzo Molinari. So this is a very dark book. It starts out with the President of the United States, the fictional President of the United States in this book, is giving a resignation speech. He has been impeached and busted and committed all kinds of crimes. And he is, did they say? He was like out in the public, surrounded by, Secret Service. And he admits in public, that he has pled guilty to the crimes he was charged with, and he was resigning the office of the presidency of the United States. And then, as he's saying, in order to prevent any further burden on the taxpayers, I've decided not to. Boom! Headshot. Dead. Spoiler alert. This is a first issue. We cannot avoid spoilers. I'm sorry. And it's nothing that Johnathan didn't talk about on the Creators Outlet podcast with me back on November 10th. You can find that episode. It's actually one of the many episodes of Creators Outlet that is now live and downloadable, the audio version thereof, on the Age of Radio podcast network. You can go to ageofradio.com/creators outlet, and that should bring you to the show page. And there's a whole bunch of episodes, and you can download any of them and get them wherever you get your podcasts from. Okay, now back to the program. So the fictional president of the United States just had his brains blown out in front of millions and billions of people because, of course, this is being televised live. And he was murdered by one of his Secret Service people, who was then in turn murdered by another Secret Service person. And if you think that was intense, it's more intense when you can actually hold your copy in your hands that you've bought and read this book, because that is nothing compared to what goes down in the rest of this book. And I mean, it was just an intense display of Machiavellian Cuervos, I will say. I mean, I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. Go pick it up for yourself. It's out this week. The Recount from Johnathan Hendrick, Scout Comics, and all those other people I just listed. You don't want to miss this book. Don't sleep on it. If you haven't gotten the ash can, you need to stop calling around to find out if anybody still has the ash can. If not, you're going to get stuck paying prices on eBay. The first place to check, of course, is the besides your local comic shop, is the Scout store online. So you go to scoutcomics.com and you can find it there. Plus, if you're a fan of the book, there's all kinds of merch you can buy. Every single book Scout Comics puts out merch for. It's great. You find a book that you absolutely love, you can get a coffee cup, t-shirts, face masks, all kinds of things. Yes, my friend Comic Burrito. Yes, the Recount was a killer book. Quite literally. 2 copies of the Ash Cat. I only have one myself, but I snagged it, and I was happy I snagged it because I've known Johnathan for a minute, and he's actually been on Creators Outlet as a guest twice, and his last book, his last Kickstarter, he did a couple of one shots. They're all encumbered in the same universe, the Freak Show universe. The first one that I knew of was Freak Show Princess. It made our top 3 2 weeks in a row. Didn't realize it was postponed. Yeah. There was some kind of shipping mishap, and it got delayed a week, which was good. Johnathan was on the podcast on the 10th, and that was like one of the first things he addressed. He goes, by the way, something happened, and it's not out this week. They had to postpone it, and it'll be out next week, which is this week now. So here we go. He sent me one of his first books in the Freak Show universe over at Outright Geekery. Sent us the copy for Freak Show Princess, which I reviewed and manually typed the review. This is me manually typing the review. Now I have this, and I don't have to manually type anything anymore. And his last one that just finished up, and he was mailing them all out, was Freak Show Night, KNIGHT, and that was, very successful. Down the road, you can look for him in to be putting the Freak Show universe books in a nice fat graphic novel. Also, shameless plug for our sponsor, SpinWiz Comics at spinwizcomics.com. Johnathan actually has books on the SpinWiz Comics app. So you can go in on the app. Once you download the app for free, either on iOS or Android, you can download the app and you can search Johnathan Hendrick, and you can find, he's got like 2 or 3 titles on there. He's got like he wrote some regular superhero stuff that's on there, and 1 or 2 other things. He talks about it on the interview on Creators Outlet. And here's just a quick peek of what that would look like on your phone. If you haven't already, please download the app. Give them a nice 5-star review. We're trying to get them up to 100 5-star reviews and downloads by the end of the month. If you make a post about SpinWiz Comics, please use that hashtag Creator-Owned Comics. So for me, for now, I'll be back. I got a few more books to take care of and more coffee to drink. So I will be back with more reviews throughout the day, and might even have a surprise guest for Creators Outlet tonight. Not sure. If you've missed any past episodes, please head over to ageofradio.com/Creators Outlet. I don't have a lot of past because we're up to, we filmed episode 63 last night. But I have from episode 40 on up is available for download on the Age of Radio. Yes, my friend, Creators Outlet. So until later on, I'm gonna bust out some more reviews. If you tune into this one late, you can just rewind it and watch it all over again. So please check me out. Follow me. Depending on where you're watching, the show notes are either up above or down below. And, of course, the link for Scout Comics is there. The link for Spinwiz Comics is there. And the link for the Outright Geekery Bonfire. And, yes, ageofradio.com. Check out all the shows. There's a whole bunch of new shows, not just mine. And search around, find some stuff you like. There's a whole bunch of great stuff on there. And for downloading the Creators Outlet, it is ageofradio.com/Creators Outlet. Okay, this is Will. You can also find and message me at JokerFan on Twitter or at JokerFan1969 on Instagram. All right, until next time.